Hello, and today I was looking at the chart for Microsoft and I noticed that the RSI PowerZones overlay actually seems to be indicating some good trades in Microsoft. And if you look at the chart layout I have here, I've got Microsoft, and then in the formula parameters I do have the RSI PowerZones overlay. And the overlay gives a green arrow up for a buy and a red arrow above for a sell. So if you look at the past few trades in RSI PowerZones, it appeared to be good. So this got me thinking, has RSI PowerZones strategy been working well in general for the last little while, and is it possible to tell which stocks it's been working really well with over, say, the last 6 months? And so this video is all about how to discover that. So my first step is to go to the Entries and Exits tab in EdgeRater, and there is a script for running the RSI PowerZones simulation, and you will find it if you open up your system indicators and just do a search, Control F, for sim underscore, and these are all of the built-in full simulations. So sim RSI PowerZones. If I double click on that, it will pop that into the Entries tab. I'm going to run this to get against my entire symbol list, so I have 7,750 symbols here. And what I'm interested in finding is which stocks it's been working with well over the past 6 months. So I'll set my date filter to be from September the 1st, 2020 to, and I'll say 12/31/2021. That's beyond today's date, but that's fine. And then I'll say make sure to use the date filter. If I don't have this use checked, then it's going to use the entire data for my symbol list. I just want to use the last 6 months. So I've got that. I'm just going to press the run here, and this will take a few moments to run because I'm running over quite a large number of stocks. It's doing quite a few calculations, and so I'll pause the video and come back when this has finished. Okay, so the script has run and it's generated all of the entries for the past 6 months for the entire symbol list, and I can go back to the beginning of this table here and I can see it's from 9/1/2020 and all the way to 3/19/21. And this script is a simulation script, full simulation, so it's also given the exits, so they're all popped into the exits tab over here. So having got that, all I have to do now is go over to the Trade Simulation tab and run a simulation which will knit together those entry signals and those exit signals. And the setting I need over on the right hand side is to use the scripted entry and exit rules, because that's a simulation script, not just pure entries and exits, but it's got other indications in there. And I'll also set, because RSI PowerZones strategy does require, there are 2 entries possible, so I'll say you can allow duplicates and scale in the duplicates at 50/50, and that's really all I need to do there, and then I'll just hit run on here. Again, this will take a few moments, so I'll pause the video while this generates a trade list. Okay, so now the trade list has been built, and you can see that there were 18,941 trades. The average hold period was 7 days, and with my settings I had this set to be trading $10,000 per trade. I didn't really change that from the defaults, but you can see this number is very arbitrary based on how many dollars per trade you're going to be trading. So let's take a quick look at the other items in the trade list. So you've got obviously the entry date, the exit date for each trade, and a PL percent, number of days hold, and then the TR column indicates if this was just a one single trade, because as I said, the RSI PowerZones strategy can have 2 entries, the first entry at a certain RSI level and the second entry if you're still in the trade and then RSI drops below another level, you take a second entry. So the symbols that have a 2 in the TR column are those symbols that trigger the second RSI entry. And we can take a look at any of these by double clicking, and that will bring up a chart, and then any of the trades that I click on will be shown and highlighted on the chart with the entry and exit. So you can see I've also got the overlay for RSI PowerZones on here too. So these green arrows should line up with the green buy arrow should line up with the entry, and the red cell arrow pointing down should line up with the exit. The overlay is obviously showing all of the trades, and every time I click on a single trade, it's just showing one instance of the trade. So obviously this was a very good one in COGT with 16.7% in September of 2020 on a 9-day hold. And so I can just go down through this list and just verify that it's picking out the right trades. Everything looks good there. And so that's that step. But as I said, what I really want to do is find out what stocks RSI PowerZones has been working well with over the past 6 months. So we have a trade list here for the past 6 months of all of the stocks. And what I'll do here is just use the pop out feature in EdgeRater. So I'll just pop it out into a separate spreadsheet view. And what I can do is then save this spreadsheet view into my reports folder, and I'll then use a template to analyze which stocks it's been working best with. So I'm in the EdgeRater reports. It wants to save it in EdgeRater reports, and what I'll do is I'll just create a brand new folder in here, and I'll call it Sim RSI PowerZones. And I'll save this as all USA September 20 to March 21. And just hit save there. So that will be saved on my hard drive as an Excel file. And now what I'll do is I'll go over to the templates tab in EdgeRater, and what I'll do in here is I'll go to the trade simulation category, and I'll just select the multi-factor trade analysis. The input to this template is a trade simulation file. That's what we just saved. So let me just go and find that. I'll click on Files, and it's in Sim RSI PowerZones. That was a folder we just created, and here it is, all USA September 20 to March 2021. I'll double click on that, and then I'll be running this. What I want to do, because I'm trying to find which stocks it's been working well with, the tag layout that I'm going to select is just a symbol layout. So tag layout symbol. So all that's going to do is tag each of those trades with the symbol, and then run a Monte-Carlo analysis on those individual symbols. So having done that, I'll just press run, and I'll just pause the video while that completes. Okay, and here is the result of running that Monte-Carlo analysis. And what I like to do is sort by the FE50, that's the final equity at the 50th percentile level, and they're all, you can see pound signs here just because the numbers are too large to fit into the cell. I'd have to expand it up. But I'm really not interested in the stocks that only had one trade in that 6-month period, because it doesn't really give a good statistical number. So what I like to do is just drop down the count and unselect everything, and I'll just select the ones that had 8765 occurrences. And I'll also select this one here, which had 18,938 occurrences. That's the all trades one. So it's a good idea to have that as a comparison to all of the other stocks. So now, the best performing stock in the RSI PowerZones system over the last 6 months has been FTFT. And it had 5 trades with an average hold of 6.6 days. 100% of those trades were winning trades with an average return of 46.1%. So it's not until you actually go in and take a look at those trades that you can really tell if that's something that you would actually consider trading going forward. But this is just sorted down in a list of the stocks that had the best performance in RSI PowerZone strategy. And as you just scroll down through the list, you can see the kinds of symbols that it's picking out here. And I mentioned the all trades, so let's go and find the all trades, and I'll explain what that means. So all trades, I'm just scrolling down through the list here. I probably passed it already. I could have done a search for all trades, would have been better. There it is right there. So there's the 18,938 trades. Now that is considering all of the individual stocks. And it's showing there that there were 85% winning trades, 15% losing trades, average percent return of 3.14%. But the FE50 number is 4.25, and the drawdown at the 50th percentile level is 12.4. So anything that's really above this all trades number are individual stocks that outperformed the system when applied across all of the securities. So that's a good way of finding out what is working with RSI PowerZones. Now, let's go and take a look at some of these. So what I'll do is I'll select FTFT. It doesn't really matter which one I select here, and I'll just say open a link to document. This is going to open the entire trade list of that was generated, and this contains all of the symbols. But of course what we're able to do now is just sort this by symbol. So if I single click on the header here, and then what I can do is just pop this down into an area below. We'll make sure that we're looking at a chart, so I'll say show chart. Chart will appear over here. And now as I go through my list here, FTFT, then FTFT comes in here, so I can see all of the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5 FTFT trades and how they worked. And now what will happen is, as I select each of these individual trades, the chart will update to show me the entry and exit in FTFT for this RSI PowerZone strategy. And I can just scroll down through these stocks and see that they were indeed all good trades. And I can do exactly the same by coming down through this list. As I select ACRS here, you can see ACRS trades have been moved to the top of the list down here, and I can go through these individual trades. Okay, so let's just review what we've got here. We've got a Monte-Carlo report broken down by symbol, showing how the symbol has performed with the RSI PowerZone strategy, and then below that we have an entire trade list of all of the symbols and all of the trades that were simulated with RSI PowerZones. So there's another thing that we can do now that we have this powerful information. If we are thinking about trading RSI PowerZones, then there is a template that will alert us to the current signals. So if we go back over to templates, and if you scroll down to the categories, through the categories, you'll find the buy the fear, sell the greed category. You'll select RSI PowerZones as the template and run this template against the list of all securities. So I'll click on run here. I'll just leave the settings as the default, which is the first buy at an RSI level of 25, and then if RSI gets below 20 while that trade is still on, it will buy another position, and then it will exit at RSI level of 55. So now that's run, and we've got another report. And so let me just make this report more visible by just popping these up into the just one pane so we can see more of this report. So this report is just working on the last bar of data and calculating which stocks have got a current signal, and the signals are these actions here. So the action could be buy first unit, buy second unit, hold a long position, exit the position, or no action. Okay, so then these symbols that have buy first unit are the symbols that are triggering a buy with RSI PowerZone strategy as of March 19th, 21. And the entry price here is listed. Okay, so currently there is no gain in any of these trades because the buy is a buy on the close. So there's been no more data since the close. So we can just go down through this list and we can look at all of the stocks in the chart on the right hand side. The arrow observing the yellow highlight is pointing to the bar that's generated the signal, buy first unit, and you can see there's also the green buy indication here. So this would be a buy. So now we have a list of all of the buys. You can see there's quite a few. We go down through the list. Now some of these are now at buy second unit, so they're already in a trade and they're triggering another buy based on RSI going below the second level. So those are those ones. If we scroll down further through the list, we've got trades that are currently on, and these trades is going to tell us how many bars are in the trade so far, what the current gain is. So here is a trade where you could see there was a first buy triggered here on March 18th, and then at the close on the 19th, so far this is up 14%. So you can go down through all of these hold longs. This is a hold long that's had 2 entries, and if I turn off the highlighting, you can see the 2 entries were there based on RSI going below those 2 thresholds, and that's the current situation. It's the first entry was 49.23, the second entry was 48.47. Number of bars in the trade currently 9 with a 6% gain. So we're able to go down and see the list of all of the current actions that are in this RSI PowerZones strategy. But the powerful thing we can do now is we can take this list and we can see if RSI PowerZones has been working well for the stocks that are now triggering a first unit entry. Do we want to trade the stock based on RSI PowerZones? So it's good then to know if RSI PowerZone signals have been working in that stock. So what we can do is we can take the Monte-Carlo results summary, and I like to just put it in the pane below here, and then what I like to do is we can just go through the list. We'll scroll through the list, and as I scroll down through or click on and then select the different cells, the Monte-Carlo results summary will update if that view meets the criteria. Currently we're filtering that view to show only the cases where there were 5 trades in the past 6 months. So if we turn that filter off, so we'll clear that filter from there, and then as we scroll down through this list of current signals for buy first unit, we can then glance across. So the top row will be the row with that symbol ADM will be brought to the top of the list in the Monte-Carlo results summary, and we can quickly see that in the past 6 months there were 3 trades, 100% of those were winners with an average return of 4.44%. And then the chart is also updated here to show it's got the overlay, so it's showing ADM, and you can quickly just visually see where those trades were. And of course, if you want to, you also have the list of trades here, so you can just click over to ADM and actually see the percent gains or percent returns in those trades as well, because all of the reports, when they're shown in the report viewer, they're all hot linked together, so anytime you select a symbol in one report, the other reports will scroll to show that symbol at the top. Okay, so now we can just go down through this list and just keep an eye on the Monte-Carlo results summary to see if there were indeed good trades in the recent past with that stock, with the strategy. So I'll just scroll down through this list, and I'm just keeping an eye as I scroll down through here on the count, because if there's only one prior trade in the past 6 months, it's not very statistically significant, so I'll tend to ignore those, and I'll look for things that have a good number of trades, and then I'll look for things that have got high percent of positive trades, and the average return is also a good thing to look at. So as I go down through here, so here we have a stock ASTE that has 5 trades in the past 6 months, with 100% of those trades were winning trades with an average return of 3.68%. And the chart is now showing all of those trades that occurred in the past 6 months. So that would be from, if you remember, we did the scan from September the 1st of 2020. So from this date forth, these are the trades that have met the criteria for RSI PowerZones in the past 6 months, and you can see that that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades, and now a new trade has just been signaled on the very last bar of the chart. So that is a potential entry. So it might give you some extra confidence that the trade might work, because you can see in the past the past 5 trades in this strategy have worked. The chart will update to show this RSI PowerZones template. When you're clicking on the rows in here, the chart that's linked to this template actually shows the overlay for RSI PowerZones, shows the 200 period moving average, which is a component of the RSI PowerZones strategy, shows the volume, and also shows the RSI 4 level, which is the one component of the strategy 2. So the relevant indicators are highlighted on the, or shown on the chart as well. So this is an extremely powerful way of taking a strategy and finding out if it's been working for various stocks in recent history, and then looking for the signals that are occurring today and going through them row by row and finding out how many of those trades worked in the recent past, did it have good results, and is this something that you might be interested in trading now based on the current signal. So that's it for this video. Just a very powerful technique for analyzing any strategy. In here we looked at RSI PowerZone strategy. That's a built-in strategy in EdgeRater, so all of the scripts are available. You can do exactly what I've done here with the software and monitor this strategy on a daily basis. And if you're interested in trading this strategy, then you obviously would run the template daily to find out which stocks are firing an entry, and then you'd go through and see if recent history in that strategy was good for those stocks. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.